Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to our next reaction video. Today we're going to be diving into episode 3 of Hellbound. Alright. If you guys saw episode 2 or my reaction to episode 2 or both, you know that there was quite the dramatic cliffhanger at the end, and so I feel the need to immediately jump into it. Like, I just finished episode 2 and I'm gonna keep going because I need to know what is gonna happen now. I think it's pretty safe to assume that the executors are gonna show up and she's gonna die, and it's gonna cause a whole dramatic situation because so many people are going to be watching it. Yeah, so it's really the aftermath of that I'm super curious about. But yeah, I also still have a lot of questions, which I talked about at the end of the last video, so if you are interested in hearing that, do check that out, my discussion at the end of my episode 2 reaction. But I'm not gonna take any more time. I'm ready to watch this and see what happens. Let's get into episode 3. Here we go.
야, 경고 방송 시작해.
Stop laughing and smiling. I hate these people. Oh my god.
이제 곧 지옥이
My god, you fucking piece of shit! Fucking asshole VIPs, if you're so righteous in what you're doing, why do you have to cover your goddamn faces? This guy, this piece of shit. Alright, so the world's all falling apart, right? There's nobody there when he's needing medical attention. There's nobody working at the police station. Everyone's just all...
어제 정말 충격적인 일이 벌어졌습니다. 많은 분이 생방송을 통해 믿을 수 없는 일을 목격하셨을 텐데요.
모두 일신을 영위하며 적극적으로 선을 행하셔야 합니다.
Uh-oh, what's this gonna be?
네, 최근 발생한 3건의 시험 중 살해 사건의 범인을 제외한 2사람, 합성력 사건의 주명훈과 어제의 대상자 박정자. 과연 이들의 죄는 무엇일까요?
He
그
knows.
죄에 대해서는 저희 세진이 전력을 다해 추적 중입니다만 민간 단체의 정보 수집력에는 아무래도 한계가 있을 수밖에 없습니다. 박정자의 경우 이미 주요한 증인들이 모두 해외로 도피해
Key witnesses? Her children?
경찰과 변호사 단체도
Oh
확인되었습니다.
god, she's so scared.
지금
Oh no. Oh no. That was a message just for him.
알아먹으라는 거죠.
Yeah, he definitely is a psychopath and he definitely sent you that message on purpose. He did that on purpose just to send him that message. Oh yeah, she's with me.
어찌 보면 너무나도 당연하고 추상적인
당연한 것이.
Right? Oh yeah, so now they get to explain what things are actually sins and what people shouldn't be allowed to do because they know.
순식간에 광으로 돌아간다고. 알아? 인간의 멍청한 거? 무구력이 엄청 강해.
Yeah, you're a perfect example.
얘들 봐 이거. 아! 모두가 신 앞에 몸을 숙일 때 뻣뻣하게 고개 쳐들고 있던 이 새끼들이가 이거.
Oh my god.
방해한 그 새끼.
어떤 사람이야?
Oh god.
도망가. 도망가.
What in the ever-loving... Oh, Lord. Oh. Are you serious? Are you... Why? No! She didn't even under your fucked up beliefs, she didn't do anything. Aren't even helping her. Is she dead? They aren't doing anything, so... I don't want to see this. I want to see this.
들어볼까요?
Yeah, she's like a Oh, this is school.
그때 저기서 처음으로 천사를 봤어요. 그때 천사가 나타나서 이렇게 말하더라고요. 너는 앞으로 20년 후 오후 22시 30분에 죽는다. 그리고 너는
What?
지옥에 간다.
What?
처음엔 너무 놀랍기도 하고 꿈을 꾸는 건가 싶기도 하고 많이 혼란스러웠어요.
안 돼요.
So what the fuck was the point of sending it to her in the first place?
며칠 전에 정진 소장이 날 찾아왔더라고요. 정진 소장이 들은 예언에서 지옥에 가기로 한 때가 언제인 줄 알아요?
저한테 연된 시간은 10분 뒤에요.
왜 우리 딸을 이용했어?
제 죄가 뭐였을 것 같아요?
Yes. Why don't you tell us what your sin is?
연필이라면 쩔어 훔쳤겠지.
왜요? 지옥에 간다는데 어떻게 아무 죄가 없을 수가 있어요?
너 박정자를 제대로 추궁하지 않았어. 죄가 있어야 지옥에 간다는 확신이 있었다면 그쯤에 했겠지.
역시 형사님이네요. 근데 저는 10년이 넘는 시간 동안 생각하고 또 생각했어요. 근데 그걸 알 수가 없었어요. 이런 기괴한 일이 벌어지는데 아무 이유가 없으면 사람들이 버틸 수 있을까요? 일어나고 있다는 그런 믿음이 있어야 돼요. 그래서 확실한 악인이 지옥에 가는 것처럼 만들어야 했어요. 저는 형사님의 자율성에 세상을 맡길 겁니다.
그게 무슨 말이야?
저는 말이에요. 예언을 들은 후로 지금까지 계속 공포에 시달려왔어요. 20년 동안 이어진 그 공포가 어떤 공포인지 알아요?
That's pretty. Yeah. that's
끊임없는 공포예요. 신이 어떤 이유로 이런 일을 벌이는지는 모르지만 나는 세상 모든 사람들에게
What?
내가 느낀 공포를 선사하고 싶어요. 그리고 그 공포는
That's your point.
세상을 전보다 훨씬 더 정의롭게 만들 거예요. 그 공포가 세상 사람들을 죄에서부터 해방시킬 거예요.
근데 이 친구가 아니에요. 그 믿음을 보여주는 증거로 당신 죽여달라고 하더라고. 아 근데 저는 한 마리 못 죽이는 사람이에요.
몰려와서 저를 죽일 겁니다. 형사님이 그걸 찍어서 세상에 공개하면 사람들은 큰 혼란에 빠질 거예요. 그리고 형사님은 곧장 집으로 가서 형사님의 원수를 죽인 범인으로 형사님의 딸을 체포해요. 그렇게 되면 형사님이 생각하는 정의로운 세상이 계속 이어지겠죠. 그게 아니라면 제 죽음에 대해 그냥 입 닥치고 사세요. 그리고 제가 마련한 세상을 정신랑 같이 누리세요. 자유롭게.
That's the free will. What the hell did I just watch? Can someone explain to me what the hell is going on? Okay, alright, so I didn't really know what was going on prior to this episode for certain, but I had certain ideas, right? And then throughout the course of this episode too, you know, those ideas took different paths, but they were kind of along the same wavelength. But it had most of it was just that Chairman Jeong was, you know, a psychopath, and he was manipulating this whole situation either just for self-justification of the things that he wanted to do and taking pleasure in finding others dying, or, you know, whether he was like faking things or not, you know, it wasn't like a message from God, it wasn't an angel and then people being dragged to hell for their sins. It was something, and he was being manipulative and lying about things and for his own purposes. And then later I thought, okay, well maybe, you know, he did see something, there was something that told him that something was going to happen, there was a prophetic event that led to him becoming even more religious, but maybe it was not actually anything from God. Maybe it was some sort of demon or other entity of some sort that has negative intentions, who knows, but that it certainly wasn't the case that it was just a bunch of sinners that were being killed. Yeah, I was seeing like the falling apart of society as people panic and start to believe these things, and as people that just like are waiting for the opportunity to become this type of mob, were taking that opportunity as soon as it was presented to them. So these were the things that were like in my mind as happening, and then the end of this episode just kind of twisted everything. So in reality, we still don't know what those things are. We don't know where they come from. But the chairman wasn't just some religious person who believed in things and his life was given meaning by seeing this. He had one of the prophecies himself, even though for some fucking reason it was 20 years later as opposed to these other people where it's like the same day or 5 days later or something, And he searched and searched to try and find some evidence that other people that this was possibly happening to survived, that it wasn't real, that he was crazy, that maybe that there was something he could do to stop it, and he looked for reasons that he might be viewed as deserving of hell. He looked through all of these things and he lived in terror. Until finally it just fucking drove him insane. Like, totally insane. And that's why he's so, like, psychotic the way that he is. Because he said of living with that fear for so long didn't just, like, make him afraid and uncertain. It got to the point where he wanted everyone else to feel the same fear that he felt. So that's where that kind of twisted side comes in, right? And he says he wanted them to feel that fear for the good of humanity, because he came to realize later that he lived a good and righteous life trying to avoid sinning, specifically to try and save himself. So he thinks if all of humanity has this fear instilled in them as well, then, humanity will behave righteously. But he also knows that the people being taken aren't just being taken because they committed sins. Whoever's taking them, for whatever purpose the things are, it's not because they're sinners, it's not some religious thing. He just decided, for the good of the world, that he was going to convince everyone that was the case, because he believed that if they thought that it was just arbitrary and it could happen to anyone at any time and there was no reason behind it, that people would go completely crazy and panic, and there would be chaos and cruelty and even a worse world than there currently was. And he didn't see anything that they could do to stop the things anyway, so what was the point? So instead he thinks, I'll twist it into this narrative and turn everyone who supposedly is sent to hell into a sinner in the public view, and come up with this like list of sins that people shouldn't commit, and then get a bunch of people on board with this idea so that humanity will at least be living righteous lives. So even though everyone will be afraid, even though this danger will still exist, humanity will be better to each other, theoretically. But, I mean, the fucked up parts of it beyond all of that is, one, first of all, you don't know what the actual things are and what's happening. He doesn't know. He never figured it out. Whereas, if people didn't know and they knew that just not sinful people, but just anyone randomly could have this happen to them, then maybe they would actually have investigations on a large scale. Maybe it wouldn't just be mass chaos and panic and mobs in the street. Maybe people would do some sort of actual studies of this and try to figure out what the fuck is happening and see if there's a way to stop it. So there's that. So he's taking that out of the equation to begin with. So that's already a problem. Second problem, he is the one coming up with, along with his people in this cult that he created, the list of sins that people should not be committing if they want to appease God and these things. He's the one deciding this. So he's the moral arbiter. Him, the person who's been driven insane by this fear and this thing that happened to him, and who is manipulative as fuck and has his own sense of righteous justice so that he goes on to actually murder someone and corrupt someone's daughter into becoming a murderer for his own purposes. This is the moral arbiter of the future of the world. So he's clearly a full-blown narcissist. The fact that he could think that he's the one that gets to decide everything that is right and everything that is wrong, and he gets to codify that in a list and put it online and say, people, this is what you need to do if you want to avoid getting sent to hell by these things. And if you do get sent to hell by those things, it means that you committed one of these sins. So he could shape society into whatever he thinks is a good little moral society. But then he leaves it, he leaves it in the hand of this other guy who clearly just wants power and is excited and saying, I'll be a different type of chairman. Probably meaning we're gonna turn into some, like, religious autocracy, and we're gonna, like, hunt down people that we think are sinners and don't follow these things, you know, along the lines of how they murdered the lawyer and her mother and the partner. And so that's gonna be happening, and that's the world that you're setting up. And then, of course, there's the other problem in that he straight up said he wants everyone else to feel the same fear as him. He said because it will make them righteous. But you also saw, like, the look on his face when he was chloroforming that guy who he then burned alive. You saw the smiles and the looks in his face when he was thinking about other people getting dragged to hell and killed. Like, he wants people to suffer. That's what he wants. He's been driven crazy and he wants people to suffer. So as much as he can convince himself and justify that it's the good of the world and it's righteous, no, it's also coming from a horrible place. So all of these are terrible things. All of these are terrible, terrible reasons. I mean, I feel like this whole thing just makes it so much worse, almost, than just that he's a psychopath like Hannibal. It's like, there's so much, oh god. And so then, because the free will thing gets in his head, he decides, well, I guess I shouldn't be the only one to make this choice for what's right for humanity. So instead, I'm gonna lure this police officer into this trap that I've basically laid for him, where he can make a decision. Either he will tell everyone that I was also dragged to hell, in which case they'll no longer believe my sin list. They'll think that it can be anyone, even sinless people, and everything that I've tried to build will fall apart. But he should also arrest his daughter because his daughter committed murder thanks to me. Or he can just stay silent forever and let my world come to be, but stay with his daughter and keep her protected from spending the rest of her life in prison. So, I'm assuming that the reason that he doesn't think that the detective can take a third option, meaning tell everyone and show everyone that he was dragged to hell and then still not reveal what his daughter did, he's saying it's because you'd have to have the world of just law and order that you think exists couldn't exist unless you basically turned over your daughter. But I'm assuming that the actual reason is because he knows that she would turn herself in if he was to go public about what happened to the chairman. Otherwise, it wouldn't really make any sense, because if he's willing to, like, lie to protect her in the first place, and why wouldn't he be willing to lie about both? But yeah, the whole thing is really messed up, and by the little thing, the clippy clip that we saw at the end of some sort of statue of the monster things, it's pretty clear which way he chose to go with this. So I'm sure the world is not a wonderful place at this particular point in time. But yeah, this was a twist I did not see coming. Not just all of the revelations about the chairman and what he's actually doing and supposedly why, but now he's gone. I thought he was like one of the main characters. He was only in half the show. Now what's gonna happen? Now I have no idea what's about to happen. I mean, I guess we're gonna see that other chairman doing terrible things, in the name of God. Oh, wow. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot, guys. I really don't want to stop watching either because I want to know what else happens, but I feel like I have to because now it's like 4:20 in the morning and my back hurts. But yeah, this show is crazy. This show is insane. I have no idea what's happening next. So I'm gonna wrap this up here, guys. I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.